What was the lull? Was it just a month and then things picked
I think it
right
was
back
about.
up, or-
I think it was like maybe 90 days that almost everything was closed.
No, in terms of transactions, like
Oh, I didn't have a
deals.
lull during
No,
COVID.
you didn't have any lull.
No, no.
People were still moving around.
Yeah.
And maybe more so wanting to be there. I don't know.
People.
Or it was both, in and out.
33 years in the business, I've been through several market ups and downs and crashes and riots and earthquakes and floods and, everything imaginable. And people always have to buy and sell,
Yeah.
Trusts, parents passed away and the kids want to sell the house. I mean, what are they going to wait 3 years until COVID's over? No. So we just,
So what advice would you give to an agent who's never been through a market downturn, never been through an earthquake or a volcano or anything else, that hasn't faced adversity yet in their career? What would you tell them?
I feel for those agents today because I think anyone who's been in the business the last 6-7 years and not before then, they're going to have a really tough time of it right now because they just don't know. I remember there was somebody on the Tom Ferry group that posted about, oh my gosh, I've never had to do an open house in my life. I don't want to do it. It's a waste of time, money, and effort. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that's going to be a challenge for someone, never do. You got to always do everything and then switch it around depending on the marketplace. So it's going to be challenging for those newer agents that haven't dealt with this change. And also like interest rates, people are talking, oh my God, interest rates went up. Well, when I started in 89, they were 16, 17%. So, and I've had loans at 10%, loans at 8%. So yes, it's great that their loans were, rates were in the twos. I got my loan I've refinanced 3 times in the last 3 years. Got it in the basically mid twos, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it went up to 5, and I was like, oh, I remember people saying, no one's ever going to buy real estate again. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? People always buy and sell. And again, I wouldn't want to pay today 17% interest because you figure your $10,000 mortgage is now going to be $50,000 a month, right? But I sold a lot of houses in those days at those high interest rates, and I didn't know any better. I came in the business, and interest rates were this, and okay.
Yeah, the first house I ever bought was 7.5%.
Okay.
Which that number right now would be shocking,
right,
to people. They don't even know that could exist. 17 would be just catastrophic.
Yeah. And you think about people that are the younger people today. I mean, when was the last time rates were in the teens? Probably 20 years ago, maybe. I'd have to look at my history, but
first house I bought was like 04, and it was like high 7s.
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything in the double digits since then.
Yeah. So again, people have a very short attention span. All they know is, oh God, it was so great. Well, it's not that way anymore. But it's still a good opportunity today. It's still better than it was, and better probably than it will be down the road.
Yeah. There'll be less transactions this year. They're projecting 4.8 million as opposed to the 6 million we had. Does that draw the same picture in your market?
I don't think we really know what the number of transactions are going to be. I will say that the foreign investors are coming back in, foreign buyers. They usually like to invest in Beverly Hills. For example, the Chinese, the Hong Kongese, the Taiwanese were not really coming for the last 2.5 years, but they started coming in December because things are open again. So they are coming and they're investing again. And they also, we see the U.S. as a place to put our money as a bank account. So we're seeing a lot more of the foreign buyers come. I mean, the Europeans were coming, but not. It just wasn't like it was. I mean, if you look back maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, we had a 3-year period where the Chinese investors were buying maybe 30 to 40% of luxury properties in Beverly Hills. That kind of just shut off 2.5 years ago, but they're coming back again.
Are any of the foreign investors concerned about America's position on the world stage when they're investing in real estate here?
I've never had one of them talk to me about that.
No.
So
they're all in on U.S. real estate.
I think no matter what, I mean, there's not a country in the world doesn't have issues and problems, whether it's economics or political stuff. The United States is still the best place in the world and the safest and the most stable. And, the U.S. is always a place for people to invest. I don't think that's ever going to change.